Let's talk about some of the plugins that are within my curated plugin boutique package, curated by me, Planety #1. Let's do it. So now let's talk about the synths that I use, the ones that I love the most. And you can get the plugin versions of them on Plugin Boutique. So just check them out. But let's talk about the SH-101 because I use the SH-101 on so many things. That's part of the Planety sound. The SH-101 is another instrument. It's an instrument that's not MIDI'd. How I would have to use it is that I would trigger it from my HR16 audio into the trigger, and it would do this kind of glitchy thing that I really loved, that you can't do with MIDI, that you can't do with a lot of things. You can't even do it with CV. You'd have to do it where it was triggered by something and it would skip notes and it would do all kinds of crazy stuff. I always modulate the resonance and the cutoff. If I needed anything that was different, I always did it in real time. So when I recorded tracks, it was straight to DAT or straight to cassette or straight to videotape or straight to whatever was available. It didn't matter. And the 101 was really always my go-to synth for bass lines, for arpeggios, for anything that I really needed. #2, so on Plugin Boutique, you can get Dave Smith sounds through Arturia Prophet 5 or Prophet V. Amazing synth. It sounds like my Prophet 5 that I have in the studio. I have a Prophet 5 Rev 2, which is used on Technicolor, one of the biggest Detroit classics, which my cousin Doug Craig did along with Juan Atkins. I have Pro 1. That was like a big Model 500 synthesizer. So much Juan Atkins stuff, arpeggiated lines, bass lines, all that stuff, which was all sequential circuits at the time. And then also, my first synthesizer ever was a Prophet 600. I had the option of buying anything that was within $500 or $600 back in 1987, 88. I could have got a ARP, but I picked the Prophet 600 because the Prophet 600 I was able to play chords, but as well, I can put it in unison and, get weird sounds or whatever I wanted. And then also it was very straightforward. The programming, the knobs were very minimal and it was straight to the point. The first release I think that I did with Prophet 600 was Neurotic Behavior. And there were 2 versions, the Transmat version with drums on it that was produced with Derek May, and the original version that came out later through ART, which had chicken noodle soup on the other side. The original of Neurotic Behavior, you have what I multi-tracked on a little Tascam 4-track was the rhythm of the song, or arpeggiator, or however you want to call it, that was sequenced by a MMT8, and then me playing strings on top. And it was 8 minutes, 10 minutes of me screwing around in my bedroom, and this is what happened. And it's, one of my favorite songs, as well as another song that defines the future of what I did musically as myself as a composer, but also defines what Planety became later on. The Arturia Prophet V gets you really close to all these sounds, and you can get them right here on Plugin Boutique. So the Tall Bassline 101 and the Prophet V from Arturia are great pieces of gear that you've got to get on if you don't have it already. There's some really great things on this bundle that I love a lot. Trackspacer is amazing. The hardware emulation things like DubStation, which is unbelievable to me because the idea of having the spring reverb, this Pultec type EQ, the things that are based off of what King Tubby was doing in Jamaica, it's just mind-blowing to me. It's great because you get this instant sound. Of course, you wanna make your own chains. Of course you wanna do that, but this makes it so easy to just get that sound, and if you want to keep that sound, it stays right there. It's like the concept that you don't even have to go through the presets, you just find that thing, and then you just leave it there. And then also the H3000, the Evitized stuff is unbelievable. I had a DSX, H3000 DSX, that was unbelievable. And the, I think it was called 6-second or 8-second reverb. That was my shit. That was the thing that I used all the time. So every time you heard a clap and it went, ah, that was it right there. That was the Eventide H3000. The H3000, I just highly recommend for anybody who wants a piece of hardware that's just gonna do its thing and do its thing great. Throbbing Gristle used all that Eventide stuff, Chris and Cozy, all to get the weirdest things. People use that constantly, you know, to just make anything stereo. So getting that stereo processing and that big sounding clap sound, that is it. H3000 is the bomb.